Okay, back again. Second video for today, which is a record. I've never done, or I take that back. I did do 2 videos a day the other day when I was cut off. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about now are divination tools. I have a lot. I'm sort of a collector. One of the ones I really like and I'm probably most proud of are my rune set. These I self-painted. Didn't take long. I found the glass stones at a craft store and the gold paint as well. But I have a full set. I actually keep them in a drawstring velvety bag I got from my mom, who is a bartender. She's her drink mixing stuff in here. But reused the bag, made my own. Very practical and economical, especially when I've seen stats at like Barnes and Noble and even online, and they always seem to retail for like anywhere between $15 to $25, some even $30. You know, I made this all total, including the free bag, $4. So, you know, consider painting your own. I think you do develop a connection more with the stones if you do that, and it's a nice little project idea. Now, my main, I guess, addiction, and one I have many of, are cards. I'm going to go over some oracle decks, not all of them, but a few I have. One I picked up recently is the Druid Plant Oracle by Will Worthington. I picked this one up at Half Price Books, brand spanking new. One, I was surprised to find any sort of decks or cards there. Most people don't normally sell their cards. And I didn't know they sold new merchandise. But this was like $10, and what you get are these really lovely full-size cards. Some people may think these are large, but in truth, this is what I've always seemed to find as a full-size deck. Another deck I have, this would be considered like a mini deck. Now I have cards, of course, that are smaller than this, and I have cards that are a bit smaller than this that claim to be full-size decks. But this is generally what a full-size deck is supposed to look like. But back to the cards. Wonderful drawings of a lot of different plants here, and these are used to give you messages from the universe. I haven't worked with these cards yet. I've actually been working with another deck I'm going to show you, but what also comes with this deck is this beautiful full-size book, which gives you like all kinds of meanings and backgrounds on the druids and how they used plants. You know, just a great book. You know, and this, unlike a lot of decks, you also read the upright side and the reversed one. So if you happen to see this, I would say it's probably worth picking up. Very nice for the price. Another deck I have, I'll go and do this one. Goddess Guidance Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue. This was a recommendation from my friend Mr. Drew Hoffman. I adore these cards. I actually use them daily. They are beautiful cards, and you get 44 different goddesses. Now, there are some Christian themes in here. At first I was a little uncomfortable with that, but you know, I found actually, you know, it's okay. I mean, especially when I think back to when I first started studying paganism and Wicca myself, I looked a lot to women figures in the Bible. So, you know, I made comfort with them, and it doesn't really impact the meaning of the cards. Don't know if you would call them goddesses. It's just going to depend on your personal preference. But either way, this is a really great deck. Just to show you, you get like Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Yeah, some goddesses I haven't heard of. Demera. You get white and green Tara. There's white Tara. You get Artemis. Arlene. Wonderful deck. Comes with a very nice book, and she gives you instructions for like cleansing your deck, how she recommends. You get meanings for the cards, and I don't know if you noticed, but on each card you also get like a keyword and then like a little prayer or mantra. So that is a really nice deck. One of my favorites. Thank you so much, Drew, for recommending that. Another one I have, Fairy Wicca Tarot. I don't consider this a tarot deck. To me, it's an oracle deck because it has 83 cards. This is a huge deck, and this was a gift to me from my sister for Christmas one year. You get a little mini book. I've used this deck several times. You can tell the binding on that book is worn. And then the cards come in their own little box. And these also use some Christian imagery, but you know, I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay with that. And the reason there are 83 cards is there are extra cards included in here. I can't find any. I was going to try to show them to you. But basically they're called elemental cards. And here's one. Like the hazel wand. And they correspond to the different elements and basically try to help you balance. The meanings of these cards are a little vague. Some people, I think, will have a hard time working with this deck because you're not getting a lot of direct answers. You really have to think, contemplate, you know, what exactly it's trying to tell you. You know, but if you happen to see this deck, definitely, you know, see how you feel about it, maybe pick it up. Last one I will go over as far as the decks is my Celtic Tarot deck. This one was another one I picked up recently. I really like the artwork because it's very like old looking, Renaissance looking. Not all these cards are pictorial. Like this one, you know, it just shows the cups. And again, this is another deck that's not going to be for everybody. Picked this one up at Barnes & Noble. I believe it was like $10 again. But you get the little instruction book in Celtic Tarot by Helena Patterson. Another really good deck that I like. Now, there are other tools you can use. You don't have to use cards. Like, you don't have to scurry with, you know, water or fire. Crystal Oracle is another one that was available at Barnes & Noble, and I believe it still is. Again, it's $10, but what you get are a book, a fold-out cloth mat, and you get 5 crystals. You got sodalite, amethyst, carnelian, I believe I'm saying that right, averturine, I believe, and rose quartz. And what you do is you simply hold these in your hand, lay out the mat. You can shake these around and like throw them like dice, or you can simply drop them. And then wherever they fall on the mat, that gives you where you should look up in the book. This is one you really have to have the book in order to read them. Simply because I don't know that you would actually memorize everything that it means when it drops on a line. And there are several factors, like how many crystals land on one line. You know, does it land closer to center? You know, so you really have to have the book with this. But, you know, the nice thing is you also get crystals. So, you know, kind of a good deal there. Last one I'll go over, Enchanted Spellboard. Magical messages from the spirit world. Amy Zernan and Monte Favor. I've used this board by myself, and I've had mixed results. Basically, it's like a Ouija board. The board folds up, you know, so it stores in the box. And with it, you get this little mover thing. And you get a book that helps you interpret the messages. I have a Ouija board. It was inherited from my father. He gave it to me as a teenager. And, you know, I've used it with friends and my sisters. You know, I never really had any problems using it, but I've heard people who say they have bad experiences while using one. This might be a nice alternative if you are interested in message boards, but don't want to pick up the Ouija. Um, I would probably recommend this in a group setting, people you trust. You are going to have to do a centering and grounding of yourself before you even think about trying to seek a message, because otherwise all you're going to get is your own jumbled thoughts, and it's not going to make any sense. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions about different cards or different forms of divination, just ask. I may do a second video because, again, this is an area, I'm pretty big on. I do collect a lot. So thank you once again for watching. Have a great day.